This is how you achieve your goals on easy mode. I was in the middle of reading this book and it literally flipped a switch in my mind. You know when you're reading something or you see something on TikTok and you're just like, I am not going to think the same again. In the book, they were talking about how the sort of person that achieves big things is already on the way there. There's not a ginormous leap or step that you need to take to get there. Like, the sort of person that achieves big things is kind of already on the way there. For example, in the book, they literally said the first ever trillionaire is already a billionaire, and the first ever person that's going to be on Mars is already training to be an astronaut. So then that got me thinking, like, the sort of person that gets into medical school, gets into Oxford, gets into Harvard, is probably already a really hardworking straight A student. The sort of person that like goes backpacking and traveling to Bali and the Maldives is probably the person that's already been to Spain, already been to Amsterdam, already been to France. The person who sets the world records for marathon or for running a great distance probably has already done a bunch of 10Ks, they've probably done 15Ks. A big goal can become easy if you're already on the path there. Sometimes when you set a big goal, you make out to be this massive mountain, probably because you're probably not on the steps to become there. Like, it seems so unachievable because you've not even stepped foot in that direction. Like, you're facing left and that goal is in the right direction. If you were already facing right, it just kind of seems like, oh, it's just a bit further in the distance. It's just a bit of time away. I only have to take a few more steps or maybe a bunch of steps to get there. But it's not that far. It's just in your direction. In the book, they're talking about the unfair advantage. And essentially, it's this concept where anyone who's successful or done something great has an unfair advantage that helped them get them there. For example, the founder of Snapchat went to private schools. Both of his parents were really successful and very well off. He had access to lots of successful people even before he started Snapchat. And that was a massive unfair advantage for him. Obviously, for sports people, yes, they're very hardworking, like famous basketballers and famous footballers, but they're all very athletic. They've either got a very tall frame or they're naturally quite athletic and love playing sports. So reading this book has made me realise that achieving a goal can become easy if you kind of combine your unfair advantage, what's unique to you, like what do you have that no one else has, and if you combine like facing the right direction and making yourself align with having that goal just be a few steps away, like you're already on the path there, achieving a goal can just be easy. And obviously when I say easy, I don't mean easy. Breaking the world record for running a marathon is not easy, but if you're already the sort of person that runs marathons every week, trying to push yourself to like break it and become faster and better, running the thing that you run every week will naturally become easy because you're just the sort of person that does it anyway. I think when I say easy, I just mean inevitable. It's obviously not easy to win the World Cup or to start a really successful business like Snapchat. That's definitely not easy, but it's definitely going to become inevitable if you're the sort of person that's heading in that direction anyway. It's easy to go from 90 to 100, but it's very hard to go from 0 to 100. For example, getting into medical school was very, very hard, but it was who I was already. I was already very, very hardworking. I already wanted to do something really challenging at university. I was already getting A's and A stars. I was already the sort of person that was researching loads about getting into university. I was already the sort of person that could get in. So then when I got in, it wasn't like a shock or a surprise. Similarly, going from 0 to 100 when it comes to running is going to be very, very challenging. Imagine you're the sort of person that watches TV all day. You're always on the sofa watching TV. You hate the thought of running. For you to go from that to running a marathon, that's 0 to 100. That's so hard. But if you run a 10K every week, if you run a 15K every week, going from that to running a marathon, that's not that hard. If you're the sort of person that hates doing homework, hates assignments, hates going into school, you're always late to lessons, to go from that to going to Oxford, that's very hard. That's 0 to 100. To make your goals easy or achieve them on easy mode, you want to put yourself in like the 80 to 90 position. Be the sort of person that's already there, and then you just have to make the small jump to get to 100. Your big goals don't have to seem like a mountain. For example, I remember when I started my TikTok, I started it to help students like get into med school, get into uni. And I did, like, honestly, my goal for TikTok was like, if I hit 5,000 followers, oh my god, that's loads. Like, I thought 5,000 was just like fame. I never could imagine a bigger number than that. So then when I hit that, I was kind of like I don't know what to do next. All I did was just focus on each video. I didn't really have like an end goal in mind. As it grew and grew and grew, I was like, okay, I'm at 20K, I'm at 25. And then I obviously was like, okay, 100 is like the next big number. But because I'd already, I was just so focused on each video. I was so focused on, I want this video to be good. I want to help this person. This person's commented that they want a video on like studying. And like, okay, I'll make some study videos. I was just so focused on like the steps. Like if you were climbing up a mountain, I was not thinking about the top of the mountain at all. I was just thinking about the steps. And that's probably more of a reason why to set like smaller achievable goals. For example, the 5,000 wasn't massive. There's lots of people that have 5,000 followers on TikTok without even trying. They just post like funny videos. But because it was such a small achievable goal, I hit it, and then I could kind of focus like less on the goal and more just on the actual like steps, like the doing, the videos, like the actual steps that will get you to the really big goal that you probably want. If your goal seems really hard, it's probably because you're not on the path yet. Because honestly, there's a point in your journey where you're not actually focused on the outcome. You're not focused on the big goal. You're just focused on like the daily tasks that you need to do to get to that goal. goal. For me, when I was applying to medicine, I wasn't really focused on like getting into medical school. I want to start, I want to be on my first day, I want to be on my first week. It was like, okay, I have to pass my exams today. I want to get an A star in this test. I'm going into biology. I'm going to pre-read. I'm going to make my notes really, really good. I'm going to study for this chemistry test. It was just like the daily task. If you focus and crack the daily task, the goal will look after itself. And like I mentioned before on TikTok, when I'd already hit 5K, I was like, I want to make another video that's really, really good. I want to improve this video. I want to make this video even better. I've made that video before, but I'm going to do it again and make it even better this time. When you just focus on the daily task, the goal will look after itself. Because for me, 5,000 was a lot, let alone 100,000. Things that are bigger than what you can think can happen if you just focus on the smaller daily tasks that you need to do. And to be honest, there's a bunch of goals that I have achieved, but there's even more that I've failed at. For example, a classic one for me is YouTube. For me, it's so weird because 100,000 on TikTok wasn't actually what I envisioned as a goal. My biggest goal for the longest time was like 100,000 on YouTube. But I think where I went wrong was I was too focused on that goal. I was looking at the top of the mountain for way too long. I was not actually doing the step. Like, yes, I was posting videos. Yes, I was consistent. I was making a new video every week, focusing on tips and medicine, all the things that I talk about on TikTok. But I was posting these videos and doing my daily task. But like, I was focusing too much on the top of the mountain. I feel like 100% of your focus should be on right now, these steps, walking up that mountain. Because if you think about it, if you focus on the here and now, what you're doing right now in this moment, that will look after the situation over there. If you make what you're doing right now fantastic, brilliant, to the best of your ability, what's over there down the line will also be fantastic, amazing, and to the best of your ability. Like, that's definitely where I went wrong. I was too focused on the goal at the end, and I was like, how's it going to happen? Am I doing my task well enough? Like, instead of actually just doing the things amazingly, like as amazing as I could, I was like still too focused on the end goal. And at the end of the day, I think you really have to ask yourself, why do you want to achieve that goal? I saw this amazing TikTok which explained it brilliantly, but when you achieve a goal, it's not actually the goal that you want, it's kind of the feelings that that goal will give you. I've been scouring on TikTok for hours trying to find this video and I just can't. Essentially what he was saying on the video is, think of what you want to achieve, like what's your goal? For me it was obviously 100k on YouTube, whatever. And then it's like, okay, what will you feel when you achieve that? Okay, I'll feel like accomplished, like I've done something big. And he was saying in the video, that's actually your goal. Like, your goal isn't the 100k. Your goal is actually to feel those things. And you need to bear that in mind because there's other ways that you can feel that thing without your goal. When I apply this to my life, easily I could say, okay, getting into medical school, that's like a dream come true. I'd feel accomplished. I'd feel like I've done something big. But then really, did I actually want to get into med school, or did I want to feel like, oh, I've done something big, I'm accomplished, I've achieved a dream that's come true? Like, you have to think it's not always the goal that you want, you just want the feelings, which is why it's so important to be open-minded, because you can feel all those things from other things that aren't your goal. Things that even are easier than that goal that will make you feel just as good. Sometimes it might be tough to achieve a goal, not only because you're not facing that direction and you're not taking the steps there, but also because you're so fixed on that goal that you've not even considered other ways to feel those feelings that you actually want. The goal isn't actually to get that thing, get into medical school. The goal is to feel accomplished and to have a dream come true. Like, that's actually what you want. So it's important to be open-minded because there's so many other ways that you could achieve those things too.